Next up, we have Haley De La Garza. Mom is Blair De La Garza. Dad is Aaron De La Garza. Haley is escorted by Reese is escorted by Jill and Brian Stafford. And now here are the football players. Number 3, James Hagan, escorted by Jessica and Dave Hagan. Next up is number 5, Ty Brewski. Ty is escorted by Jason Brewski and Donna Lukey. Next we have number 7, Logan Holsing. Logan is escorted by Donna and Troy Holsing. Number 11, Tanner Hegel. Tanner is escorted by Tressa Wallace and Ryan Hegel. Next up is number 12, Kellen Entz. Kellen is escorted by Brenda and Matt Entz. Next up is number 13, Kate Gustafson. Kate is escorted by Carlene and Todd Gustafson. Next up, number 16, Grant Workentine. Grant is escorted by Julie and Sean Workentine. Number 22, Matt Try. Matt is escorted by Shelley and Tim Try. Next is number 24, Katie Strand Conklin. Katie is escorted by Holly Strand Weisgard and TJ Conklin. Next is number 26, Brady Dickenheffer. Brady is escorted by Jamie Thompson and Kerry Dickenheffer. Next up is number 30, Andy Cook. Andy is escorted by Amity and Grant Cook. Next is number 32, Josh Henrik. Josh is escorted by Diane and Joe Henrik. Next is number 46, Alex Gaspar. Alex is escorted by Antonia and Adam Fabriba. Next we have number 50, Jackson Migler. Jackson is escorted by Susan and Mike Migler. Up next is number 52, Arthur Fonbula. Arthur is escorted by mom, Jenna Fonbula. Number 55, Darren Parson. Darren is escorted by Erica and Chris McCrae, Nikia Parson, and Lacey Parson. Up now is number 59, Dylan Armstrong. Dylan is escorted by Sheila Paulus and Steve Armstrong. Next is number 60, Oakley Eagleson. Oakley is escorted by Rachel and Jason Freehoff, as well as Sean and Melissa Eagleson. Up now is number 64, Isaac Birnbaum. Isaac is escorted by Joke and Phil Birnbaum. Now up number 69, Brennan Selheim. Brennan is escorted by Geraldine and Ryan Selheim. Now up is number 71, Dawson Galdi. Dawson is escorted by Amy and Gary Galdi. Now we have number 72, Sam Carpenter. Sam is escorted by Jamie and Colin Carpenter. Next is number 77, Jace Sutherland. Jace is escorted by Billy and Adam Sutherland. Now up number 78, Jacob Kirkeby. Jacob is escorted by Alicia and Jason Kirkeby. Now up is number 85, Jeremiah Isaiah. Jeremiah is escorted by Mom Augusta Clay. Next we have number 87, Xander Newton. Xander is escorted by Leah and Jeremy Newton. And last we have number 90, Ben Merrick. Ben is escorted by Mark and Linda Merrick. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for all of our seniors, cheerleaders, student manager, and football players, as well as their parents. Thank you, parents. You can now take your seat and get ready for the football game. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Mark and Linda Merrick out there with the rest of the Cheyenne Mustangs class. Essentia Health Mustang Stadium for tonight's exciting football game between the visiting Minot Magicians and your hometown West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs. Parents, students, and fans, we welcome our guests from Minot, and we are proud and honored to welcome all of you to Essentia Health Mustang Stadium. We would like to thank all community members and stakeholders as well as Essentia Health for their generosity and support in making this exciting event happen. Thanks to you again and welcome to the home of Mustang football.
Welcome to tonight's broadcast, everybody. It is a good evening for football. 64 degrees with only a slight breeze and a little overcast on this October evening. For those of you who are at home watching, I'm Jackson Miller. Alongside is Aaron Canodal and Dan Wolf up here in the booth. Tonight we have a great matchup between the 2-3 Minot Magicians and the 5-0 West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs. Aaron, Dan, it's a pleasure to be up here with you tonight. What do you think of this crossover matchup we have here tonight?
Well, obviously, this is an exciting night to get back to the home field. We haven't been here in a couple of weeks, and bringing in Minot, a powerhouse program from the West, definitely this is a pretty exciting night for the Mustangs.
Absolutely. For Sheyenne, being on the road for a couple of weeks, it's always good to get back home for a little bit of home cooking. It's senior night, so this is a big night for everyone here.
Well, the history has been good between these teams. Out of the past 4 all-time meetings between these two teams, they have split the games 2 apiece. 3 of those meetings have been in the postseason, with Minot beating the Mustangs in the 2015 AAA semifinal and the 2017 AAA quarterfinal round, while the Mustangs have taken home the last 2 meetings.
We're going to send it down for the national anthem.
We are back. Thanks for the band for playing the national anthem. As I was saying, the Mustangs, they've taken home the last 2 meetings between these two teams, which both came in 2019, one being a 28-14 victory in Week 2 and the other being in the quarterfinal round later that season with the 42-7 victory. Both of those wins are on this field. Tonight is the 5th overall meeting between these two teams and just the 2nd time during the regular season. So, Aaron, Dan, what mindset do you think both teams have tonight?
Well, I think the thing that's really odd for old people like myself is seeing two teams from the West playing this deep into the season, or a team from the East and the West, and it still being the regular season. The new alignment of a new 2A and 1A system really has thrown off some of the schedules and the traditional opponents that the Class A teams have seen in the past. So, yes, they played each other, and it's primarily been in the postseason. But I think there's probably still some familiarity. I think Sheyenne just really needs to focus on the game here tonight. This is a team that, if records are any indication, they should be able to handle and not get too keen or too far, look too far in advance at the big showdown with the #1 team in the state, Bismarck Century, next Friday.
And I would concur with that, Coach Wolf. I think for me, it's going to be whether or not the Mustangs come out sharp and ready to deliver here, because this could be a trap game. It's difficult to not look ahead to the 1 versus 2 teams currently ranked. Century #1, us #2. So it's hard not to look ahead to that and know that that's coming. So in some respects, you got to be real careful that this doesn't become a trap game. Obviously, Coach Newton, his coaching staff, they're not looking past Minot. They know this is a program that's to be reckoned with. They have a lot of success over the years, and they're not looking at this team this way. They got to make sure that their players aren't doing that.
And the Mustangs, they've been absolutely lighting it up for the past 3 years. They have 3 straight conference titles. They're 33-5 since the beginning of the 2018 season, and they have back-to-back Dakota Bowl berths. Jeremy Newman is 53-15 overall as head coach of this Mustang football program. He's 6-6 in the postseason, and he's led this team to the postseason in every season of this program's history.
And I think it's not a surprise to anyone the way that this season has gone, and in terms of the way the Mustangs approach the game. They look to win the battle up front and play mistake-free as much as possible. And I would think that's going to be the game plan against Minot, a heavy dose of the run game and probably taking your shots at the time you think you can get some kind of advantage. And that's really what Sheyenne football is about. Minot's got to know that too. I'm sure their plan is to do what they can to try and limit the run game for the Mustangs, but nobody so far this year has been able to do that across the state. So,
and I'll just piggyback on that, Wolf. It's not just the offense and Josh Hendricks and Caden Rahr and Warkentine, but honestly, what the defense has done is equally impressive. Yeah. They've pitched 2 shutouts. They've held 2 opponents to just 7 points, and only the Shanley game where they were actually scored upon. Yeah. And so, so far this season, they're averaging 34.2 points a game. They were only giving up 8.6. So when you're only giving up just a little more than a touchdown, you're going to win a lot of football games. Yeah. And right now that's an average margin of victory of 25.6. That's phenomenal. Coach Newton has obviously had a great program. He's had great teams in the last few years. This is blowout city right now, and so they have to be. A little bit, Minot's got to be coming in thinking, I don't know what we're going to do, but we got to figure out something. We got to figure it out quick, and we'll see if the Mustangs come out quick and can show their firepower and show their worth.
And a little bit about the Magicians. They failed to make the postseason last year. This program has 4 state titles under their belt, the last coming in 1980, which was a 30-7 victory against Shanley. Minot also hasn't won a conference championship since 2016. They did reach the state title game in both 2015 and 2017, but they lost both, which the one in 2015 came against Bismarck Century and the other coming against West Fargo High. But they are coming off a 31-0 victory against Williston last week, and they're a program that's had a lot of ups and downs in the past few years.
And I think probably when you're Minot, what do you have to lose coming into a game like this? You should be loose. You should be able to just turn it loose and have fun and really, if I'm the coaching staff at Minot, I'm telling my guys, hey, the pressure really is on Sheyenne here. They're the ones that have the record that they do and have played so well this year. We have nothing to lose. Let's be loose and go out there and see what we can do. So maybe we'll see maybe a trick or two by the Magician, see if they can get to an early lead. And I think the longer they hang with the Mustangs, probably the better they're going to feel about their chances of maybe ending up with a victory here tonight.
So Newton Heifer doing the kicking duties, and it's off.
And here we go, week 6 of Friday Night Lights. Mustangs will stop them right around the 42.
So they're going to start on defense. So with that, we're going to hear the starting lineups for the Sheyenne Mustang defense.
The Mustangs, they're starting D-line.
QB, defensive end, Mapleton Elementary.
Hunter Menz, DN, out of the Horace Elementary.
Aaron Parson, defensive tackle, Rita Murphy Elementary.
Andy Cook, defensive line, Aurora Elementary School.
Nick Renner, linebacker, Horace Elementary.
Matt Schreiber, linebacker, Eastwood Elementary.
Tanner Hagel, linebacker, the Horace Elementary.
Brady Duneheffer, cornerback, Aurora Elementary.
Noah Olson, cornerback, Horace Elementary.
Kellen Entz, safety, Freedom Elementary.
Tate Gustafson, safety, Independence Elementary.
So first play for Minot goes incomplete.
No, complete for a gain of 3, so we're looking at 2nd and 7 here for Minot.
And Minot's got a pretty good quarterback, number 4, Jaden Spurraw, 6'1", 155-pound junior who is 50 for 98 throwing on the season with 5 touchdowns and 567 yards through the air.
I did talk to defensive coordinator Josh Karch. He said, you know, that's the one thing that they were kind of focused in on is that their quarterback, he throws a good ball. He's really kind of their number 1 weapon. So they were going to be kind of looking at him, keying on him. They said they're about a 60 to 40 run to pass ratio. So run a lot of pro formations, twins. So it's pretty typical stuff, but they'll throw in some jet sweeps and some probably throw in some gimmicky plays tonight and see if they can throw the Mustangs off a little bit.
In this Minot offense, they're averaging 92 rushing yards and 113 passing yards per game. But they better be on the lookout for the Mustang defense. As you said, Aaron, they're only giving up 8.6 points a game.
Great play by Nick Renner there, getting into the backfield and holding Minot to no gain. So it's going to force a 4th down and probably a punt here, even with this field position. I don't think Minot wants to give that risk of going for it on 4th down and giving the Mustangs a short field.
I think the first guy in there was Carter Menz. He came around the edge there, number 8, and grabbed a hold of the jersey. You know, that's kind of what Carter Menz has been doing the last few games. Maybe didn't have the eye-popping stats the last game against Legacy, but the 2 before that, boy, he was really on fire.
He's the leading tackler for the Mustangs, 25.5 total tackles, 20 solo, 11 assists, and he's got 2 sacks as well.
So with that, we're going to get the Mustang offense. Let's hear about those starters.
Mason Hart, left tackle, the South Elementary.
Sam Carpenter, left guard, and the Westside Elementary.
Oakley Eagleson, center, Aurora Elementary. Dawson Goldie, right guard, the Horace Elementary. Go Hornets.
Braden Selheim, right tackle, Eastwood Elementary.
Logan Holsling, wide receiver, the Horace Elementary. Go Hornets.
Xander Newton, wide receiver, the Aurora Elementary. Caden Rahr, running back, Freedom Elementary.
Connor Entz, running back, the Freedom Elementary. Go Flyers. Joshua Henricks, fullback, the Horace Elementary. Go Hornets.
Graham Michael Workentine, the first quarterback, the Horace Elementary.
And here comes the Mustang offense. They're led by Grant Workentine, a 3-year starter from the Mustangs. He brings the experience. He's been QB1 since his sophomore year, and he's led this team to back-to-back Dakota Bowls. He's looking to make it a 3rd straight trip year this year, and hoping the Mustangs could come out on top this year. He's 21 for 49 on the air with 256 yards and 3 touchdowns, but he's also ran the ball 37 times with 206 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground. He's a dual-threat quarterback.
And I think that's what we're going to see a lot of tonight. There's Josh Hendricks up the gut there on the triple option. Workentine does his read there and hands it off to the big man, and he rumbles ahead for a nice pickup there for the Mustangs.
You know, I think, Jackson, when you said the Minot quarterback with 98 pass attempts this year, I thought that sounded like about a career for a Mustang quarterback, because we all know that Coach Newton's going to look to keep it on the ground, and when you have running backs like Josh Henricks and Caden Rahr, why would you need to do anything else when you can control the line of scrimmage as well as they have this year?
Nice little swing pass there, I think. Comes out to, I think that was Holsing.
Logan Holsing, number 7, pass is incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 40 coming up.
2nd and 10 here for the Mustangs. Already flipped the field, obviously, inside now the 30. you know, obviously the Mustang kicking game, they're gonna. This is 4-down territory regardless. So
yeah,
we're gonna probably see a couple of runs in here at least here, getting some yards. We surprised if we see a pass here.
2nd and 10. Here's the handoff. I believe that's by Caden Rar. He'll pick up around 5.
Caden Rar, he's had a couple of really good games these last few. He's got in the end zone a couple of times on 2 different occasions, I think. And boy, he's running hard for the Mustangs. He's their explosive back. You know, he's the if we got Thunder and Lightning, he's the Lightning to Josh Hendricks' Thunder, and you know he's really been able to slash up the defenses.
Here's Hendricks up the oh, it's a fake. Workington's gonna go inside the 10.
Good RPO read there by Workington, seeing that the Minot end was crashing down on that, held on to it, kept that discipline for the possible pitch, and gets it down into goal-to-go territory at the Minot 7.
And, you know, that RPO action, that got Jackson a little bit, too.
Yeah, faked me out.
Everybody ran after the big man. Hendricks, they bought the bite on Hendricks, and that's what a 3-year starter does. He tucks it up, takes it to the edge.
1st and goal here from the 7.
This one looks like it's
He's in for the – is he in?
And they're going to give it to him.
He's in for the touchdown.
Powerful opening drive there, and a nice job getting Ants into the end zone. I believe that's the first rushing touchdown on the season for Ants.
But
you know, he's actually filled into that position after a couple of injuries, and all the coaches say this about Ants. You know, he's a guy that's so athletic they can actually move him to a lot of different places. They can put him in a defense. Heck, he can play a corner. He can play a linebacker on defense. He can play quarterback. He can play running back. He can be receiver. You know, he's a guy that really can kind of do it all. So it's good to find him a position. And I think all year they've been kind of looking at ways to get him, as we see a little fire
Mustangs
play.
run the fake. It's caught in the back of the end zone. For the 2-point conversion, 8-0 Mustangs. Great start.
Carter Menz again. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Logan Holsing.
That was Holsing on the catch, I think, after that one.
Grant Workington connects to Logan Holsing in the back of the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
And this is something that Mustang fans have seen repeatedly throughout the season, that strong opening drive, making that statement, punching in a touchdown, and now really putting it in the hands of your defense and telling the opposing offense, hey, see if you can do something about that.
Pretty exciting start there for the Mustangs. Saw a little bit of everything that they do. You know, that was something I was talking to the coaches about. You know, you don't see a lot of passing on tape for the Mustangs.
Nope.
It's not that Grant Workington cannot throw. He's actually probably one of the best, if not the best, passer of the football in the entire state. But when you don't need it, you know, that's a luxury. You keep handing off the ball, hitting from a lot of different angles, and that's this offense that you know, Jeremy Newton employs. It's pretty potent when you can come from every angle like they do.
It really is, and when you have ball possession the way that the Mustangs are able to do, and anytime that ball goes in the air, that brings in a lot of factors. The potential for turnovers and controlling the line of scrimmage and grinding out yards is what they do best. So you're right, Coach. If you don't need to go to the pass necessarily, if you want to use it just as a luxury when you think you can get something, I think that's a huge advantage for Cheyenne.
And here's Jaden Spurra looking to try to punch it in the end zone on their second drive of the game. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and he's going to pick up around 3 yards.
And obviously for the Magicians, they're going to really need to find something offensively here to kind of slow the momentum. You don't want to go down early.
Yep.
You know, they probably got a little bit of bus legs anyway. That's a long trip from Minot, and you got to make sure you're careful that this doesn't get away from you in the first quarter.
Carry was by number 7, Blaze Cherry, 5'8" senior, 165 pounds, out of the backfield. He's their leading rusher. Here's a motion. Spurra hands it off to number 7, Blaze Ferry once again.
I think the tackle there was by Tate Gustafson. He's one of your senior rippers. He's another guy that can kind of play multiple positions, but boy, he could probably play inside, outside linebacker, safety, corner. He's just an athletic guy that's big and strong, and boy, Josh Karch, as a defensive coordinator, he's got a lot of guys that he can put in a lot of different spots. It is senior night, guys.
Here's a handoff up the middle, and the Magicians will pick up the first down.
You know, I mentioned right away, you saw senior night as they were coming in. Boy, there's a lot of seniors on this team, a lot of experience. Jackson, you talked about how these Mustangs, they've been in back-to-back championship games. You'd think being in back-to-back championship games, you know, you might have to reload and retool. And this team's experienced. They've been around, and they got senior leaders.
1st and 10 from the 45. Hand off up to Ferry up the middle.
Tripped up at the line there.
It's going to be a pickup of around 1 to 2 yards.
So far, Minot's been holding their ground all right on the offensive line. They've been really haven't been any types of tricks or traps or anything. They've just been going one-on-one with the Mustang D-line, and they're getting some yards, not big chunks, but I think that's probably what Minot is hoping for is just sustained drives and maybe having a chance then if you can get into the red zone.
Oh,
wow.
Great tackle there. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
That looked like Nick Renner, I think, blew it up that play.
Nick Renner is one of your starting linebackers. He had a pick 6 against West Fargo High.
Both of your middle linebackers there, Renner and Tribe, make the stop and a big hit on the middle. So now we got a long 3rd down play. If Minot doesn't pick this up, even if they punt here, that's probably a little bit of a win that they flip the field, but I'm sure they're going to want to pick something up here. Let's see if they go to the air.
3rd and 7 from the 42. That's going to be a timeout.
So timeout, Magicians. So we'll take our first timeout as well. We'll be back in a little bit.
We are back, 3rd and 7 from the 42. The Magicians looking to pick up the first down. Spurrah will drop back. He's going to dump it off. I believe he's tackled just short of the first down, and the Mustangs will get the stop, but it's going to be 4th and short coming up.
Great tackle in the open field there.
Decision time for the Magicians here. It looks like they're going to probably try and give this a go. At some point, you're going to have to probably make that decision, and the last time after the punt, Cheyenne marched right down the field for a score, so see if they try and draw them off sides or a little quarterback sneak here, but
I think blown dead before the play.
Yeah, I think there might have been some false start on the line there.
I don't know if everybody was set before they tried to quick snap them and run a quarterback sneak, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, they're going to say motion penalty, so that one stings a little bit. You had what maybe have been a quarterback sneak.
4th and 1 territory now. That 4th and 6 makes maybe you reevaluate.
Yeah, the playbook gets a little smaller when you have that situation, so that's unfortunate for the Magicians.
Here comes the punt team for Minot. And
what can you say, though, about that senior tackle out there by Tanner Hagel? You get that one in open field. That's a tough tackle to make coming on the swing pass. Nice job.
That is from a trips formation by Minot and protecting against the deep ball. That underneath is where you're going to be susceptible, so a good open field tackle.
Now they're going to go to punt.
Here's the punt by the Magicians. That's going to be around the 15, inside the 20.
So with that, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back in about 30 seconds.
You're watching Cheyenne Mustang Media.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 17. Mustangs looking to extend their lead. Here's going to be the handoff to, I believe that's Caden Rar.
They go into that tight formation. They like to run that little interior run off the tackle.
As we wind under 4 minutes here in the first quarter, Minot only having a handful of plays to this point, and Cheyenne really controlling that line of scrimmage once again.
Here's 2nd and 4 from the 23 coming up for the Mustangs. 14's going to take the snap, goes with Hendricks up the middle, and he's going to be stopped for a gain of around only 1 to 2 yards.
He's a tough guy to bring down, that's for sure.
He's their leading rusher out of the backfield for the Mustangs.
So with that, we want to remind you of one of our sponsors for tonight's game is Bell Bank Mortgage. Bell Bank Mortgage is proud to support the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs. Rates are great, so if you're considering moving up or maybe even becoming a homeowner for the first time, talk to the experts at Bell. We'll help you make home happen. Bell Bank Mortgage, equal housing lender. Go Mustangs.
Here's 3rd and 2 from the 25. Morgan's going to hand it off to Hendricks up the middle for the 1st down. Josh Hendricks picks up the 1st down for the Mustangs. 1st and 10 coming from the 29.
And, you know, this is something that's obviously, you know, when you're a defensive coach and you're a defensive player and you see just time and time again the runs coming at you, it just wears down your defensive linemen. And 3rd, 4th quarter, that's going to be huge for the Mustangs throughout the rest of the season.
That's really the time when they've taken control of so many games at this point, and it's got to be frustrating as a defensive coordinator to see that same look again and again and again, and really know that the ball can be coming from a variety of spots, and then when they pop that quick pass on you, you're working so hard to stop that run, you forget about the pass. And you know, Minot's content not to get too many men in the box here, but good pitch out there from
Morgan's going to pitch it to Rar. He's going to be stuffed behind the 30.
Pretty good play there, stretching it out by the Magicians, you know, a good fake. And that's what's tough in this flex formation. 3 different guys look to have the ball at some point. There's a fake on the dive. Then, you know, you have Workentine. You got to stop him. He's as big as most running backs across the state of North Dakota. And then they pitch it out to Caden Rar. And not only is he big, he's explosive, he's fast. But great job of the Magicians on that one.
He's standing at a solid 6 foot, 175 pounds. Here's the handoff off to Rara, up the middle once again. He's going to be tackled around the 38.
I think they're going to give him forward progress about a half yard maybe ahead of the 1st down. So I think they're going to push that one, and I think the Mustangs are going to hear some horse trot noises.
Yep, 1st down Mustangs.
Just under a minute and a half to go in the first half, and probably none of us up here are shocked by what we're seeing in terms of the ball control that Cheyenne is exhibiting, giving Minot, a lot to think about every time that the ball was snapped here.
1st and 10 from the 40. Handoff goes to Hendricks up the middle. He's going to pick up around 3 yards.
It's easy to talk about the skill guys, but you know, you talk about the tanks up front pushing the line. You got 4 seniors: Sam Carpenter, Oakley Eagleson, Dawson Galdi, and Brennan Selheim, that have been leading the way, and we only have 1 junior on that line right now, Mason Hart. So obviously these are skilled, powerful, productive offensive linemen, and they push the defensive linemen back. You know, you're going to hear the names of the skill guys, but you know those guys just love to see the rushing stats behind them.
Martin's going to drop back. He's going to look for Caden Rar, and he's going to pick up a huge gain inside the 30.
And that's one of those wrinkles that they had out of that tight flex. Everybody's looking at the running backs. They're looking at the running backs. Next thing you know, they hit one of those slot running backs on a pass out to the wing, and geez, big play.
1st and 10 inside the 30 now from the 27. Big play there by Wargatine, throwing it to Rar. Rar's in motion now, and he's going to get the handoff up the middle. He's going to pick up a solid around 5 yards, 5-6 yards on the play.
Good pickup on 1st down there. So Caden Rar on the season here, he's got 4 receptions for 38 yards and a touchdown coming into this one. So that's a big catch there. So that's the end of the first quarter here. Timeout on the field. We're going to run a quick ad for you, and we're going to be back in a little bit. So welcome back. Just want to remind you of one of our sponsors, Marvin Windows.
Join Marvin full-time or part-time on a day, evening, or weekend shift. Apply online at marvin.com/careers. That's marvin.com/careers.
We are back. The Magicians were tackled in the backfield there. Still remains 8-0 here as the second quarter gets underway. And like you said, guys, Minot, they do got a solid program. They have a lot of ups and downs. They have a 295 and 177 record since 1975, and they've been to the postseason 22 times in the last 24 years, with the 21 straight trips to the postseason from 1997 to 2017. But they failed to make the playoffs 2 times in the past 3 years.
It's really seemed like the seat of power out west, certainly, when it comes to football, has been in Bismarck, and obviously that starts with Bismarck Century, but Bismarck High as well, and Bismarck Legacy, although they're the new kids in town, so to speak, are putting together a quality program as well, as we have a light rain here falling on the players out there.
It's football weather, baby.
It is football weather. We'll see if that impacts the ability to hang on to the ball for either team, but looks to be pretty light at this point. Good handoff up the middle. Once again, driving down to, third and short territory for the Mustangs, as the ball's at about the 4-yard line, as they're on the move once again.
All right, the Mustangs inside the 5 here, first and goal. They're looking to punch in to the end zone for the second time tonight.
And there's the big man, Hendricks.
Hendricks is in for the touchdown. His first touchdown of the night here for the Mustangs. They extend the lead to 14-0.
This is probably not the scenario you're hoping for if you're Minot. You've had a couple of short drives, given it up, and watched Cheyenne march down the field and kind of have their way with you. And now you're down 14-zip, and Cheyenne yet to attempt another PAT.
Hendricks ran in for his 10th rushing touchdown of the year on that 4-yard rushing touchdown. He's been their workhorse out of the backfield this season. Here comes the 2-point conversion. And the Mustangs are able to convert 16-0. Draw up the middle for the 2-point conversion. 16-0 Mustangs with 10:37 to go in the second quarter.
This is going to be a super important possession for Minot. We're at a point where you're down 16-0 early in the second quarter. 10:37 left. You're down 16-0. And if you don't get something going here and have to give the ball back to Cheyenne, there'd be nothing more that Coach Newton would like than to punch in another score and be up by 3 scores going into halftime. So pretty important possession here for Minot, Jackson.
We'll see if Spurrock can lead his team into the end zone on this drive.
A reminder, one of our Sponsors for this evening, Bell Bank Mortgage. When you choose Bell Bank Mortgage, you'll partner with people that are part of the fabric of the communities that we serve. At Bell, people come first. No matter where you are, you'll see the Bell difference in your mortgage experience with us.
Here's the return by number 11, Jonas Bubak.
So really, guys, it's not that Minot has had terrible starting field position on any of their previous possessions or this one. It's just been, it's so hard against this Mustang defense to really get anything rolling. And as we said, if they don't move the ball this time around, and Cheyenne's able to capitalize on that before the end of the half, that's danger territory for Minot, and I wouldn't be shocked to see them try and move the ball through the air here.
1st and 10. Sparrow's going to drop back. He's going to fire it up deep, and that's going to be a little too far, incomplete.
Looked like the receiver broke the route off. I don't know if that was a read on that, but the pass was 10 yards over his head. He was tied up with the D-back as well, so I don't know if that was a read by the D-back to break it off or what exactly happened with that.
Looked like that was Gustafson on the coverage.
Second and 10 from the 39 coming up. Spurra under center. It's going to be handoff up the middle to Ferry. He's going to break free for a big gain. He trucks, and he gets down inside the 40. Big run there.
Obviously, that's the best play Minot's seen so far, and if you get runs like that, that's going to really make this game a little bit more of a challenge for the Mustangs. Took several defenders to bring him down.
Blaze Ferry is their leading rusher. Coming into this game, he had 60 carries, 195 yards, and a score on the season. Here's 1st and 10 from the 40. Here's a motion. Spurrow's going to hand it off up the middle. That's going to be tackled in the backfield for a 5-yard loss.
That's Theron Parson on the tackle, number 55.
Great read there. Minot giving the jet sweep look, faking that, and then the handoff, and Theron was not biting on that. He was in the backfield immediately and got the running back almost as soon as he had the ball.
Parson is 6th in tackles on the Mustangs this season. Spurrow's going to hand it off up the middle once again. That's going to be a pickup of around 4 to 5 yards.
You know, you might say that Parson is, 6th in tackles there, but he does so much at the defensive tackle position, kind of redirecting people, clogging the holes, and giving his linebackers the opportunity to make the tackle. He is a difference maker for this Mustang defense for sure.
I think that's the big thing. You hit it right on the head, Aaron. Occupying a man, sometimes 2 men, and freeing up those linebackers to really fill those gaps is huge for this defense.
Here's the Magicians in motion. Spurrow's going to keep it up the middle. He's going to get inside the 30 for the 1st down.
Really, that seems to have been where Minot has had the most success tonight, is anything that's gone up the middle. Anytime they've tried the edges, it has not been successful.
They haven't hit that jet sweep yet, but they've run that fake a couple of different times. It has appeared to pull the interior linebackers out just a little bit. Maybe you get a half a second late, and that dive up the middle has kind of gashed them a couple of times here on this series.
1st and 10 from the 28. The Magicians looking good on this drive. We'll see the Mustangs can hold them up. Spurrow's going to roll out to his right, and he's going to fire it. Pass is caught at the 20 by number 16, Keaton Ranke.
I think Gustafson thought he was going to get a fingertip on that. It was just really well placed pass, just over his outstretched hands, and another 1st down for Minot. So they are threatening as they are in the red zone here.
1st and 10 from the 18 coming up here.
Winding down on 8 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter.
Still remains 16-0. Spurrow going to be under center here.
Single back formation.
Here's a motion. It's going to be to Ferry up the middle. He's going to get inside the 15.
And again, they find that motion has opened up a little bit of an A-gap hole there, and they've been able to find, 3, 4, 5 yards sometimes on that 1st down carry. And
Blaze Ferry getting up the middle there.
We'll see if the Mustangs can tighten up here now that the field has gotten a lot shorter and maybe stop them from putting this one in the end zone.
7.5 minutes remaining here in the 2nd quarter. 2nd and 5 from the 12. Spurra takes the snap. He's going to roll out. He's going to complete it, and that's going to be incomplete.
Tough pass to be rolling to your left as a right-handed quarterback and make that pass. There was a small window there, but the receiver was pretty well open, but Tanner Hegel had pretty good coverage, but there was a window. Minot just unable to take advantage in that situation.
Yeah, especially difficult when we got this little drizzle here. The ball's probably a little bit slippery. Tough to throw that one across your body, but Mustangs held on that one. Let's see if they can hold again.
3rd and 5 from the 12. Spurra in the shotgun. He's going to keep it. Try to get to his left on the outside, and he's tackled for around a 2 to 3 yard gain.
Yeah, for a moment there, it looked like the defensive end might get him in the backfield. He was able to juke just one guy, make a miss there, and turn it into a productive play, although they're still looking at 4th and 2 or 3 here.
We'll see if the Mustangs can have a 4th down stop here in the red zone.
Ends up being a pretty big run because it does open up the playbook here. You got run-pass options here, and at that 3 yard line, or 3 yards to go here for the 1st down.
Spurra's going to be in the shotgun here, or excuse me, he's going to be under center. Fullback and running back lining up in the backfield. Spurra's going to roll out, looking for the end zone. Pass is knocked away by number 26, Brady Dudenhoffer.
Dudenhoffer, great, kept his hands off the body of the receiver, knocked the ball away, and Sheyenne turns him over.
Great play there by Dudenhoffer.
That's a pretty big, disciplined play for the Mustangs as well, because obviously that rollout, pretty nice job there, staying home. It's sometimes easy to start looking into the backfield when you see the quarterback get out of the pocket like that. So nice job, Brady Dudenhoffer, knocking that
That was a great
away.
4th down stand for the Mustangs. That was a good drive for the Magicians. They just came up short there. Weren't able to execute inside the red zone. That was their first trip to the red zone tonight. Wargatine, he's going to keep it. He's going to be tackled for around 4 yards.
So just over 6 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. Nothing that Coach Newton would like better than to grind this out and score with little time remaining in the 1st half and see if they can pop that lead up to 3 scores.
2nd and 6 from the 15 coming up.
Tight flex formation here.
Wargatine's going to get off to Hendricks up the middle, and Hendricks is going to pick up the 1st down. He's going to be tackled around the 25. That's going to be a 10-yard gain.
Boy, if Josh Hendricks gets 2 or 3 yards before he's touched for the first time, you can just guarantee he's going to get 8 or 9 because
he gets downhill in a hurry.
You are not going to push him back once you make that initial hit, so it better be
big.
Some arms and legs at the line of scrimmage slowing him down. Otherwise, you're probably going to see gouges like that all night long.
He's 6 foot, 220 pounds, and he's averaging over 5 yards a carry. Here's Rar on the, or excuse me, that's going to be,
I think that one's Entz.
Connor Entz on the carry.
And that's what makes this offense so difficult to defend. If you're Minot, you're seeing this heavy dose of Rar. You've seen Hendricks. Now all of a sudden you have Entz coming around, and as we pointed out, that flex formation, you don't know where the ball's coming from, who's going to have it. Working teams had a couple of nice runs. Very difficult to defend. Really depends upon discipline and winning those one-on-one battles if you're Minot.
Entz got in for the first score tonight from the Mustangs. Rard's going to get on the outside. He's going to pick a hood. He's still on his feet. He gets past the 45 for the 1st down.
Excellent job keeping those legs churning. They were just pumping and pumping.
You know, that's one of those mistakes that those safeties can sometimes make. They think they're coming up and laying the big blow, but you don't wrap up a guy like Caden Rar. He's going to hit you, and you're going to be the one that's going to suffer. And he bounced right off that one and made a couple, about 5-6 more yards out of it.
Caden Rar is averaging over 8 yards a carry coming into this game.
Coming down on 4 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter.
Here's the handoff to Connor Entz on the. He's going to be around the end there. He's going to be past the 50. That's going to be a gain of around 4.
Gain of about 4.5 yards on the play. Makes the second 6. Stop made by the Magicians, number 1, Tyler Budell.
Tyler Budell, number 1 there on the stop.
Yeah, in terms of total yardage on the season, Josh Hendricks is the 2nd leading rusher in the EDC. And the 4th leading rusher in the EDC is Caden Rahr, coming in at 449 yards. So when you have the 2nd and 4th leading rushers in your backfield and a 3-year starter at quarterback.
Think that makes a coach sleep well at night?
Mustangs have had the top offense in the EDC in the past 3 years. And they're looking to make it, it's going to be another year where they're going to lead the EDC in offense. Here's Entz, I believe, on the carry.
And it'd be one thing if you were able to kind of have an answer for this, if you were an opposing coach saying, yeah, sure, the one year they had Nate Goldaddy, he's playing running back at NDSU, he's going to be gone, so we're going to be good. Well, next year they bring in Barika Penu. All he did was get a scholarship to be NDSU and was one of the Gatorade finalists for Player of the Year. Oh, once he's gone, what should we do? We'll bring in Josh Hendricks. We'll bring in Caden Rahr. We'll bring in Entz. We'll bring in a handful of other guys. We'll do the same
Reload. Caden Rahr here on the carry. He's going to get to the outside. He's going to pick up a nice gain there.
On the carry, number 27, Caden Rahr. Stop made by the Magicians.
2.5 minutes to go with the ball at the Magician 38. Coach Newton probably going to have to start thinking about when and how to use those timeouts if we're not able to gobble up some yardage here in the next 30 seconds or so.
2nd and 5 coming from the 37. Mustangs have crossed over into Magician territory.
Again, a nice run.
Connor Entz.
That one's going to get the Mustangs the first down.
First down. Connor Entz. Nice gain there.
One of the beauties of high school and college football, too, you get the first down, the clock stops. It's effectively a brief timeout, gets you guys at least an opportunity to get set up again. And you see Workentine, he's coming to the sideline to get the play. They're comfortable getting this one all the way down under a minute before they feel like they want to punch it in. So
that's smart, too, because then it doesn't give the Magicians any time to run a lot of plays.
And up 16-0, you're probably comfortable going in with that lead. Nonetheless, you want points here, too.
Here's the handoff up the middle there by Entz once again. He's going to be stuffed around the line. Not a lot of yards on that play.
That's a play probably Entz maybe later in the year. He's, like I said, he's transitioning to this play. He kind of was hesitant to the hole on that one. By the end of the year, he's probably going to hit that one harder, find a hole quicker, make a quick, decisive cut, and go. Like I said, he's a defensive or an offensive player. He's a defensive player, but he's learning this position, and he's going to be great at it. You can tell. So we do want to remind you of our sponsor tonight for tonight's broadcast, Bell Bank Mortgage. When you choose Bell Bank Mortgage, you'll partner with people that are part of the fabric of the communities we serve. At Bell, people come first. No matter where you are, you'll see the Bell difference in the mortgage experience with us.
So Cheyenne burns their first time out of the first half.
1:36
left to go, 2nd and 10 with the ball on the 29-yard line of Minot. I think Coach Newton probably just reminding his guys that to stay disciplined, we don't need a turnover or a penalty in this situation. We're getting what we want, and we're moving it, and when there's plenty of time and timeouts to go, so there's no really need to panic, but let's see if we can punch this in.
2nd and 10 from the 30 coming up here. Mustangs trot back out onto the field.
One thing I did notice on the last play, they're taking a look at Caden Rahr's shoulder on the sideline, so we do have a substitution in for Caden Rahr. Not sure exactly what happened, but we're hoping he's okay.
That's going to be a flag.
Probably a false start here by Cheyenne, and that's not what you want after
you come
we
out
just
of
talk
timeout.
about
Yeah,
that.
you come out of the timeout.
Work team is about to let that one go.
You just have the opportunity to remind your guys to be disciplined and to not jump, and you draw up a play that you think you have a good chance to get some yards with, and you give up a 5-yard penalty. Probably Coach Newton not thrilled with that, but the good news is clock didn't start, so you still have 1:35 to go. 2nd and 14 at the 34-yard line.
2nd and 14 from the 34 coming up here. Morgantown in the shotgun. Morgantown takes the snap, drops back. He's going to fire it. Oh, that's going to be, I believe that's going to be pass interference there on the Magicians.
That was
shoved him in the back.
As plays go in high school football, or probably at any level, there's probably not a very ambiguous call there. That was pretty easy for the refs, as we see multiple pieces of laundry on the field on that one. Everybody saw that.
And if you're the Magicians, that is not what you want, sending the Mustangs up for another score here.
So it's an automatic first down. It stops the clock and advances the ball for Cheyenne. So certainly not
They're going to be inside the red zone.
You know, I took a look at that replay as we were kind of watching here, and Grant Morgantown took a big hit on that throw.
Yes, he did.
But he stood in there, and he wore the hit and popped right back up. I guess that's the advantage of being the size that he is. He's put a lot of work in the weight room.
Morgantown's going to roll out to his right here. Pass is complete to Rar.
I think that was Newton on the edge
or
there.
Excuse me,
87.
Newton. 87. Xander Newton.
It's not often that the Mustangs go to their wideouts. They do have a lot of passing plays for the slot running backs, but Newton is one of their leading pass catchers on the season, the son, of course, of Jeremy Newton and Leah Newton, two of our head coaches here. Jeremy, obviously, is the head coach of the football team, and we just covered his wife's volleyball team last night.
Here's a handoff up the middle. Josh Hendricks gets inside the 5. Nice gain there from Hendricks.
Under a minute to go. No need to rush here for Cheyenne. They're going to take their time, see if they can punch it in as close to zeros on the clock as possible. They still work on Caden Rohr on the sideline. Looks like maybe just more of a stinger than anything else. It doesn't look like he's in real bad shape, but we'll see if he's able to come back and
First and goal
play.
here from the 3. And the Mustangs in for the touchdown.
And that's Hendricks being Hendricks. Again, you got at the head of steam, and who's going to stop a guy that size in the hole? And it's just going to be so tough to ask a linebacker to meet him at the hole and stop that forward progress. And that time, two plays in a row, he looked like a bowling ball and just took out the pins.
Josh Hendricks in for his second score of the night. 22-0 Mustangs with 33 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Morgantown hands it off, and the 2-point conversion is good. 24-0. Race Wilson, sophomore, in for the 2-point conversion.
Good to see Race back. He was coming off an injury.
Groin injury.
Groin injury, and boy, he started the year looking real sharp for the Mustangs in the slot.
He's averaging over 10 yards a carry. He had a big touchdown against Grand Forks Central in week 1.
You know, the Mustangs have had some bad luck at that slot running back position. The first carry of the season, their speedy back, Ty Schlichting, broke his collarbone.
Hagen's out now.
Then you bring in Race Wilson. All he does is rush for 100 yards on 10 carries up in Grand Forks. He gets hurt. Then they bring in, James Hagen, which is one of the senior leaders, one of the best players on the team. He looks great. He was really explosive against Shanley.
Oh, he had that long touchdown, speedy on the outside, and he was able to break free for like a 70-yard touchdown or something like that.
Then what happens? Another collarbone injury to James Hagen. And all you do is you bring back, you retool, and now you got Entz coming in. He's already got a touchdown on the night. Race Wilson comes back. He gets another touchdown. Jeez.
Wilson got the 2-point conversion there.
It's almost sinful how many talents and players they have out there.
Here's the return. He breaks free on the outside, and he's going to get down inside the 40.
You know, that's probably one area that the Mustangs could clean up a little bit. They did give up a big touchdown earlier in the year, I think, on special teams as well. Or at least it was a big run back. And so that's something maybe, and they have, obviously, Dudenheffer's coming in doing the kicking duties. Their normal kicker is absent this week. So that might come into play a little bit. They try to do that little front squib kick, and somebody lost contain there.
Number 15, Ty Kinchin on the big return there for the Magicians. Here's Spurrow. He's going to drop back, dumps it off.
Oof.
Good tackle there.
Little bubble screen there out to the outside. 25 seconds, now 17 seconds, see if Minot can advance the ball here, get it into the end zone.
That was a great stick there. And now we're at 17 seconds to go in the end of this first half here. Mustangs will come to their sideline. Magicians will come to theirs. You know, what do you do in this last 17 seconds here? Obviously, when you're down 24-0, you're going to try to get some sort of points. You only got 36 yards to go.
Yeah, I think you have to be willing to take a look at the end zone, and you're going to have to try and get something deep, whether it be a completion or some kind of pass interference is what you're going to have to hope for. But the worst-case scenario for Minot is kind of playing out right now, to go into halftime down 3 scores and not really having a whole ton of success, although they did have that drive early in the second quarter where they advanced into the red zone against Cheyenne and unable to do anything with that. They're going to have to look at this and see if they can make something happen, because Cheyenne's going to get the ball to start the second half, and that's not what Minot is hoping for.
I wonder if here they're going to maybe roll out a little bit. They got Twins right, or see if they get him out of the pocket a little bit, buy some time to see if
he's
going to
look
deep.
downfield. Fires deep, and that pass is going to be a little too strong, incomplete.
So they had me fooled there. I thought maybe they're going to roll out and go to the strong side of the field, where they had Twins right, and they decided to go where they might have some isolation coverage on the left side. But great job, great coverage, nothing happening.
3rd and 8 from the 36. 11 seconds remaining here in the first half.
So this isn't really a matter of, you know, 3rd down. You're going to probably look at 2 plays regardless.
Here's Spurra under center. He's going to hand it off to Ferry up the middle.
I guess I don't understand. I'm not so upset with the play call, hoping maybe to get Cheyenne anticipating a pass there, but setting up in a pretty conventional run look is what kind of confuses me there. I think if you try and spread it,
so I see they're warming up maybe a kicker over there. So this would be about a 50-yard attempt. It is downwind.
It's going to be.
So it may be that they were trying to pick up the yardage he needed to attempt a field goal from 50 yards.
And
boy,
get
this would
to
be
the
impressive.
side of the field. This is the location of the longest kick in North Dakota high school football.
It's longer than that. It's like 58 yards.
Right. I'm saying it has been done here, but this is a big ask.
We'll see
Here's
if they
the
can
try.
Pull this one off. 50-yarder.
50 yards out with 5 seconds remaining here. Snap, spot, right-footed kick is up, and it is good.
No,
excuse me.
Just
wide right.
But there was plenty of leg on that.
Yeah, that would have been good from 55 if he had it down the stripe.
Just a bit wide right there.
Oh,
kind of hard to see from up here, but he's wide right on that. Plenty of leg, though.
Oh, that was pretty impressive. I see why they ran that ball on that one, though. So
Mustangs lead 24-0 here at halftime.
So with that, we're going to take our halftime break. Hopefully you'll come back to us in the second half here. Mustangs up 24-0. We do want to say a quick thank you to our sponsors here, Marvin. Sponsored by Marvin Windows and Doors. Marvin, imagining and creating better ways of living. And with that, we're going to take a quick break.
love working about Marvin. I'm always given an opportunity to learn new things. There's never really a dull moment.
When my buddies from out of town ask me where I work, I love to share it. There's always opportunities. You can always move up.
You come in here willing to learn, and if you're willing to do that, you can go anywhere.
The people here is what makes the workplace enjoyable. It's a great place to work.
They have a great benefit package, and as I've been here even for a few years, I've seen that package being adjusted and tailored to try to meet our needs better.
Your experience coming in, our experience that we have here, makes a great combination that we invite.
That generation that helped build this company to what it is today is now getting to retirement age, and we're now to that point in the company where a newer generation of workforce is stepping up to the plate. We're finding our own adventure. I think that's exciting. It is an exciting time to be a part of Marvin.
You're watching Sheyenne Mustang Media. You're watching Sheyenne Mustang Media.
Along with those procedures, he will endure many more in the coming days, weeks, and months. Let's come together and help this family in their time of need. We would like to take time to host a Miracle Minute fundraiser to assist the Klein family with Tarn's medical and recovery expenses. Our Mustang cheer team will be walking through the bleachers to collect donations. You can also scan one of the QR codes that are posted around the stadium to access Tarn's GoFundMe page. Let's do everything we can to help the Klein family through this difficult time. Thank you, Mustang fans.
You're watching Sheyenne Mustang Media. 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 You're watching Sheyenne Mustang Media.
Here we are back, ready to begin the second half here in around a minute and a half. The Mustangs lead 24-0, so what do you guys think of that first half?
Well, as far as I saw, it was almost like a replay of most of the games that Sheyenne has played this year. Dominating the line of scrimmage, controlling the possession of the ball, getting large gains on the ground, kind of almost at will, and racking up a big lead. And on the defensive side, I think we saw what we've seen from Sheyenne for the majority of the year. Giving up a couple of plays, but nothing that would be worrisome, making good stands when they needed to, and a 24-point lead at halftime.
The Magicians, they got inside the red zone there once, and the Mustangs did come up with that fourth down stand, and really the Mustangs have had some big plays. Grand Workington completed a big pass to Rar. Josh Hendricks has scored the ball twice tonight. Ents has got some carries, and he scored the ball once.
Well, you know, we live in a fantasy football world, but the reality is yards is probably the most overrated stat on the planet, because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is whether or not you can put points on the board. And so if you play the bend but don't break mentality, and the Mustangs did that in the first half, obviously, you know, Magicians end up with 0 points. Mustangs still pitching a shutout. Yeah, they had a couple of good drives, and you know, the things that we talked about pregame, you know, could this be one of those kind of catch games on the Mustangs? Could they get trapped into this one to not be focused? Thinking ahead to the Century game, that doesn't appear to be the case. 24-0 here. We talked their average margin of victory is 25. They got that at halftime already. And so all the things that we were saying could possibly work against the Mustangs, you know what? Great teams do great things, and the Mustangs are a great team.
They are, and I think if you're Minot, so much rides on this first possession. Already, you know that Cheyenne's going to get the ball to start the second half. If you're not able to make some kind of stop for Minot, maybe one of those games where they're starting the bus early and thinking about getting on a warm, dry bus for a 4-hour ride back to the Magic City.
If there's one drawback for the Mustangs in this first half, it's that we look down on the sideline and we see that Caden Rahr is actually, icing up that shoulder, and that would be another.
Taking his pads off too, it looks like.
We're hoping that Caden's okay, and this is preventative, and with a 24-0 lead, they're going to say let's not put him back in the game, but obviously we want to wish him well and hope that that's not another loss in the backfield for the Mustangs, because it seems
he's had a pretty good night tonight as well.
It seems to be, if there's one thing that's going wrong on the season so far, it's that those slot backs seem to be kind of injury prone, and it's just dumb luck and unfortunate for the Mustangs, but they found a way to just put another guy in and do another person and the next man up mentality, and it's paying off.
Well, and I suppose that's maybe to be not expected, but maybe not a shock in such a run-heavy offense, that when you have guys that are getting the ball a lot, that means they're taking a pounding out there. We've talked a lot about how the Mustang backs are able to deliver a blow, but they're also getting hit out there. And as you said, Aaron, hopefully he didn't seem to be in great pain or discomfort when Caden first came off the field. So, again, hopefully this is just kind of a preventative thing, looking at the score and the situation, and maybe just a little stinger, and they're just trying to be, safe and hold him out, thinking, the coaching staff thinking maybe about next week and that big showdown against Bismarck Century here at Sheyenne Essentia Health Stadium.
And I do think about the way the Bison run their quarterback run. They tend to kind of hold that to the chest and hide that card until later on in the season when they have to use it. Grant Warkentine is a tremendous runner of the football too. They just haven't had to employ his talents yet running the football, and that is something probably toward the end of this season, and certainly next week against Century we'll probably see more of that. But let's hope that Caden comes back and we can be fully charged for next week's game against Century.
The stadium, I'm sure, will be rocking for that one. I'm sure Century travels well, and anytime you have 1 versus 2, that's a big deal, as Minot gets set to start the second half, and away we go.
Here we go. The second half is underway. Mustang's going to bring this out. That's going to be, a big return there, 25 yards there. Number 13, Tate Gustafson there on the 25-yard return to start off the second half for the Mustangs. We do want to remind you, we would like you to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sheyenne Mustang Media. Follow our Instagram account at mustang.post and our Twitter account at Mustang Post. And our Facebook's name is also Sheyenne Mustang Media for all the parents out there.
Yeah, please subscribe and
Coach,
help us.
I do.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Here we go. 1st and 10 from the 38. Got Hendricks in the backfield there at fullback. That's going to be handoff to him up the middle for around 5 yards, 4 to 5 yards on the carry.
And you kind of wonder how long the Mustangs will keep their starters in. You're up 24-0. Already thin a little bit at slot back, and we'll see how long that's something that Newton really wants to keep his guys fresh and give them reps into the second half. Obviously, we haven't had a lot of that, minus the one game against Shanley, and so that's something you definitely want to make sure that your kids are ready for.
2nd and 5 from the 43. Here's a handoff. That's going to be, he's going to be tackled. Connor Entz is going to be tackled there around the 44. Picks up only around 1 yard on the play.
And, Coach, that's something you mentioned in the first half. We haven't had a tremendous amount of success on the edges. Minot's pursued pretty well on those. Most of our bigger gains have come up the middle, kind of behind the beef of the offensive line, and we're nibbling a little bit at it, seeing if we can pop something, but nothing real huge or consistent working on the edges against the Minot defense.
3rd and 5 from the 43. Hendricks up the middle, and he's going to come up just short of the first down.
For the Mustangs,
maybe it wouldn't be shocking to see if Cheyenne's successful here on this drive, maybe a drive each with the offense and the defense, and maybe we do start to see some of the guys that don't see the field quite as often. We talked about how many seniors there are on this roster, and a lot of guys will be graduating, so you want to always see what you can do about getting some of these younger guys some looks, some reps, some game action.
Here's Wilson. He's stopped in the backfield. Great pursuit there by the Magicians. And Josh Hendricks did pick up the first down on that, but Race Wilson gets stuffed in the backfield.
Loss of about 4 on that one, and I couldn't tell who on Minot was able to jab through that.
That was Caden Tumbo, and that was a big play.
2nd and 15 from the 44 coming up after that 4 to 5 yard loss there.
The rain continues to fall here. It's not a real great night out. It's not super cold, but I think that rain might have an impact. Good underneath.
Workatine drops back
to Xander Newton.
He completes that to Xander Newton, and he's going to be stopped and pushed out of bounds at around the 35. First down.
Well-designed play there by the Mustangs, kind of getting everybody, the quick guys, the outside guys to run deep, and I'm sure Workatine had a look there, but saw Xander Newton coming across the play and the underneath the coverage of Minot, and wide open and great pass. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs.
1st and 10 from the 37.
Nice job of that drag route by Newton. He just kind of holds his space there, and
hand off to Hendricks up the middle. He's going to be stopped around the 35. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I would guess, if I'm Jeremy Newton up 24-0 here, I'm probably not going to go very deep in my playbook here. You're going to keep everything that you can. Make that film as useless to Bismarck Century coming into next week as they possibly can. So you're probably not going to see a lot of creative play calling in this second half here. Holding on to that lead.
Hendricks trying to fight for yards there, but he gets stuffed for no gain. Maybe possibly around 1 yard on the play.
It's going to bring up 3rd and about 7 with 8:41 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Mustangs with the opening drive of the second half have driven into Minot territory, quite possibly 4-down territory for them.
Every drive. 3rd and 7 from the 34. Workatine's going to drop back. He looks long. Pass is complete inside the 20. Number 6, Connor Entz with the reception there, and he gets inside the 20.
Entz having a nice little game here tonight. Getting kind of his, second time that he's been able to get some extensive plays at that slot back position, and he's looked good.
1st and 10 from the 17. Mustangs once again get inside the red zone after that 18-yard reception by Connor Entz.
Obviously, you have 2 Entzes on the team. They go home and they talk to their dad, who is the head football coach for NDSU. I wonder what that session is like when you go home for dinner and you're talking game.
Matt Entz went 16-0 in his Matt Entz went 16-0 in his first season at NDSU and led them to a national championship.
Those of you that follow football in the state probably don't need any reminder, but North Dakota State and the University of North Dakota squaring off tomorrow afternoon in Grand Forks at the Alaris Center tomorrow afternoon in the battle for the nickel.
Well, what are we calling it now? I don't know. Is it I guess we're old enough to know what the nickel is.
Yes.
Jackson probably doesn't even know what a nickel is. Do they still use coin currency? Certainly don't care about that, but yeah. It is going to be rocking in the Alaris, and I was telling Jackson this last night. I know the Bison have been practicing, pumping in volume, getting ready for how loud that's going to be up in the Alaris. They haven't played there, I think, in almost 20 years now.
3rd and 2 from the 9 coming up for the Mustangs.
Let's see if the Mustangs can convert here on 3rd and 2 and put some more points on the board.
Here's Hendricks in the backfield at fullback once again.
Oh,
Warrentin's going to roll out. He's going to rush, and he's going to get inside the 5, and he's going to punch it in for the touchdown. 30-0. Warrentin with his first touchdown on the night.
Well, and we had just talked about that. You haven't employed the quarterback run very much. You look at Warrentin, the way he delivers here. This is not a little guy. This is not your typical high school quarterback scenario where you have maybe just either a runner who's like a running back or a skinny guy who can throw the football. This guy he's a man. He's built to run you over, but he's built to throw you over the top too. So tremendous play there, showing why he's a 3-year starter and leader of this team.
Here comes a 2-point conversion. 6 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Or excuse me, they're going to go for the extra point. Snap spot, right-footed kick is up, and it's wide right.
And that's one part of this. I'm sure that the Mustang special teams are going to be talking about this. I think right now we're 1-10 on the season on extra points. You can see that's why we're looking at different options here, trying to find ways to get points. But if you get the 2 points, that's worth more anyway. So they've decided probably that maybe give a couple more kicks to it. But I would think that when the game's really coming down to it, I think they're going to go for 2.
I think so, and really, when you're up 30-zip, you're right. Might as well give some of these opportunities to try and convert some extra points on these conversions. But this is a perfect scenario for Sheyenne. They've eaten half the clock in the third quarter, went down, scored a touchdown, have Minot down 30-0, and we'll see what the defense can do on the way back.
So 30-0 is the score here now.
5:47 remaining here in the third quarter. Mustangs looking to keep this shutout alive. Spurrod looking to drive his team down the field and punch it in the end zone for the first time tonight.
Looked like that tackle on special teams for the Mustangs was made by number 21, Marcus Johnson. I did watch a couple of the JV games.
He can tackle.
Man, that guy on special teams especially, if he's not involved on the play, I'd be shocked. He's a tremendous special teams player. He's going to be a tremendous varsity player real soon.
Mustangs stuff him at the line. D-line's doing a great job here tonight.
We'd like to take this time to recognize one of our sponsors for tonight's game, Marvin Windows. Imagine and create better ways of living with Marvin. Join Marvin full-time or part-time. Apply online at marvin.com/careers.
Here's 2nd and 10 from the 43. Spur on the shotgun. He's going to keep it, and he's going to run it up the middle. He's not going to pick up much as the D-line is there once again to make the stop.
Do want to take this opportunity to thank all those members of Mustang Media. We have Jacob Fisher running the production. He's our producer-director tonight. Obviously, Jackson Miller here on the call for us. But up top, we have Morgan Valvo running some camera work. We got Huey Husted doing some cameras for us. We have Matthew Steele and Aiden Knodel running some graphics and promo stuff for us here at Mustang Media.
Riley
we do got, and we got a couple of photographers that weren't able to make it here tonight, but you'll see some of their stuff on our social media pages. So, yeah, man, Mustang Media is growing. So if you're interested, students, and you want to learn more about a career in this kind of production and media and broadcast, talk to me, Mr. Knodel. We'll get you involved. It's fun stuff.
Spurraw's pass was a little too deep there. He's kind of been strong on a few of his throws here tonight. 4th down coming up here at the 47, 4th and 6. They're going to punt, it looks like. The Mustangs will get the ball back here with 3 38 remaining here in the third quarter. Here's the punt.
Nice punt.
Nice deep punt. That's going to be a touchback, though, and the Mustangs get the ball.
It looked like Gustafson back to return. Nice job letting that one go over your head. Mustangs will get it.
3:31 to go in the third quarter, and we'll see if we maybe start to see a couple of the underclassmen here maybe getting a chance to get some playing time and some things like that, as this game looks to be pretty well in hand. I'd be shocked maybe past this drive into the fourth quarter if we would see any of those players or see any of the starters much beyond that. Looks like much of the starting unit here.
Race Wilson's coming in at the slot position. He's a sophomore. Got some varsity reps last year as a freshman towards the end of the season. Workatine's going to drop back here. He's going to fire it over. Pass is caught by Xander Newton.
Newton's having a nice night here on the edge.
That same play they ran on the last possession there, that little drag route for Newton coming across underneath. And Workentine, really a lot of that credit goes to the offensive line. He had all day to sit and survey the field and pick the receiver that he wanted to go with.
And, you know, if there are any college recruits watching right now, you see when that ball comes off of Workentine's hands, he's not just a runner of the football. That thing's got some zip. Nice tight spiral there to the edge to Newton.
Here's a handoff to Hendricks. He gets around on the outside up to the 45 for a 25-yard run, or excuse me, a 17-yard run.
Oh, love to be in the head of the defender there from Minot as you're looking at, you know, an opportunity to make the tackle after about 12 or 13 yards down the field. You know, Josh Hendricks could easily just step outside and make 2 yards less out of that one. But he's not that kind of guy. He's going to put his shoulder down into you, and you better be ready for it because you might catch the wrong end of that one.
1st and 10 from the 44 coming up here after that 17-yard rush by Josh Hendricks. He's in the backfield there once again at fullback. Workatine, he's going to keep it here, and he slips, and he's going to be – he slips around the 45.
I think it was a little misdirection there by Cheyenne, and I think Workentine was hoping to have that pitch relationship still available and a chance to get that outside, and saw that was closing in on him. So probably thinking the smart play there was protect the ball and just get down. We're about a minute and a half to go in the third quarter here as the Mustangs approach midfield.
2nd and 10 from the 44. Workatine's going to keep it, and he's going to get around the edge, and he'll pick up, I believe it's going to be around 6-7 yards on the play.
Good job giving himself up there, not taking the hit. No reason to try to fight for an extra yard or two and end up with a shoulder injury or something like that on your good wing that you need to protect. So
Mustangs are going to need Grand Workatine for a deep playoff run this year, and hopefully they get over the hump and bring home the first state title for football. 3rd and 2 coming from the 48. They are in Magician territory once again. Workatine's going to hand this off to Wilson, and he's going to pick up the first down. Nice carry there from Race Wilson.
Good decision there from Race Wilson. He hit
the
hole.
He stutter-stepped and waited for that hole to create and then turned it on.
And that's usually what you're looking out of a slot back, running back. One decision, quick decision, hit the hole, get upfield, square up your shoulders, get downfield and pick up your yards. And
Race Wilson, he is a guy who hits the hole hard, and he's got wheels. Once he gets going, he's gone.
This will be the last play of the third quarter for the Mustangs. 1st and 10 from the 45 of Minot.
Here's a handoff to Entz up the middle. He's going to get stopped around the 40 as the third quarter comes to a close. Mustangs lead 30-0.
And with that, we're going to take a break here between the quarters, and we'll be right back.
With 1 quarter to play. in Jamestown. Tennis will be in Grand Forks, and then on Friday, boys varsity tennis tournament and soccer tournaments participating again, and a girls varsity duel with Fargo Davies here at Cheyenne.
We are back here for the start of the fourth quarter. We do want to remind you guys that the Mustangs' future schedule, they take on Fargo North, who's leading the EDC in the A division, up at Fargo North, and then the Mustangs will take on Century in 2 weeks, which is the team that has defeated the Mustangs in the state championship 2 years in a row, and then the Mustangs will conclude the season here on their home turf once again against Fargo Davies on October 22nd in 3 weeks.
I want to take a moment to thank one of our sponsors for tonight's broadcast, Bell Bank Mortgage. Bell Bank Mortgage is proud to support West Fargo Cheyenne sports, whether you're in the classroom, at home, or both. We hope you're inspired this year to push yourself beyond what you even imagined and never stop learning. Go Mustangs! Bell Bank Mortgage, equal housing lender.
1st and 10 from the 32.
And they're going to blow that one dead, I think.
Huh. Flag on the play, false start there on the Mustangs. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty here. 1st and 15 coming up from the 37.
A couple of really nice runs here out of Race Wilson. I like to see him finally get back to action. And,
hopefully he can get a touchdown tonight.
We did say thunder and lightning is how it works best. Race Wilson is definitely living up to his namesake. He's quick.
He is quick.
So if you can have that quickness on the edge, and you have Josh Hendricks, who arguably is perhaps one of the best players, if not the best player in the state right now.
Here's Ents. He gets the ball. He gets around the outside, breaks free. He'll get inside the 25, picks up around 10 to 11 yards on that play.
Good hard run there by Ents. Nice job. 10:35 to go in the fourth now. Mustangs content with just running the clock and picking up yards on the ground.
They're still holding the Magicians to 0 points tonight, looking to get their 3rd shutout of the season.
We did say, 25.6 is their margin of victory. They're at 30 right now, looking to punch in another one. 3rd shutout.
Here's the carry by Wilson. He jukes. He'll get up the middle. Stopped around the 15. Race Wilson picks up around 10 yards.
Coach, you and I talked about this earlier, even before the season started. This is, and you brought it up at the beginning of this game. This is the first time that this schedule has looked like this, where you were going to have some east-west crossover. We talked prior to the season. Boy, it looked like a gauntlet schedule for the Mustangs. It looked like, hey, you can get to a 500 record. You're having a pretty good season, and the Mustangs are just rolling through this schedule right now. It's really impressive.
Here's Hendricks up the middle. He's going to break free for the touchdown, and the Mustangs extend their lead to 36. Hendricks with the hat trick tonight, his 3rd touchdown of the evening. 9:20 remaining here in the 4th, 36-0.
And you might want to think, this is senior night, giving these guys one last opportunity to be recognized as seniors.
I think that might be the last time, though, that we see working team running the offense for a drive, and quite possibly the last time we'll see Hendricks tonight. Certainly Coach Newton is keeping an eye on things.
Isaac Birbaum puts in the extra point.
That might have been the loudest cheer of the night on a PAT with the kick.
I think that was Dudenheffer on the kick. Birnbaum, like I said, not here tonight, so they got Dudenheffer doing the kicking duties. So he's playing cornerback tonight, and he put one through the uprights. Nice job, Brady. That was a good-looking kick.
That was really that was a strong kick through there.
Yeah, I do want to point out, too, I've mentioned it a couple times here, Ents he's a man of many talents. He's also our holder on this. So he's played multiple positions on defense. He's played multiple positions on offense. He may very well be he may very well be our most versatile player. Holder on extra points is one of the most difficult positions, and certainly the one where you're the GOAT if you do it wrong, but nobody notices if you do it right.
That's exactly it.
He's been doing it all tonight, run the ball, caught a couple passes, and he's the holder on a good extra point attempt there. 37-0 now with 8:50 remaining here in the fourth.
You know, Aaron, getting back to what you said, that's right. We talked a lot about how this new schedule and how that was going to look for these teams. And, you know, one thing that stands out to me is Minot's going to break a good return there.
Right around the 40.
Is when Cheyenne and Century do meet up in a couple of weeks, and assuming both teams continue to kind of on the path they're on, you kind of wonder how much do you reveal at that point, because it could be a preview of the state championship once again. Do you kind of go in and say we want to make a statement and prove what we can do against a team, or do you maybe hold a couple things back so you have something kind of up your sleeve or in your pocket that you know you can go to in a rematch if that were to happen? Because obviously Cheyenne is going to make the playoffs at this point and certainly host in the first round.
Here's Spureye, hands it off to Ferry up the middle for a gain of around 3.
I think that's the question, as the rain looks to be coming down a little harder now.
And out goes to number 7.
It's going to make the ball a little bit slippery.
Stop made by number 59. Dylan Armstrong.
Dylan Armstrong there on the stop. 5'10", 240 pounds.
A couple more substitutions in for the Mustangs. Looks like they're going to rotate quite a few guys in here on this series on defense.
2nd and 6 from the 44. Spureye hands it off. The Mustangs are there to make the stop once again. The D-line has been shutting it down tonight.
I think that was Tribe up the middle making the hit.
Stop made by number 17, Chase Otterson.
Otterson was there on the stop.
Chase Sutherland brings up third, about 5.
Third and 5 from the 44. Magicians looking, still looking for their first score tonight. Here's Spureye. In the shotgun, he'll take the snap. He'll drop back. He's going to look deep, and the pass is complete. And the Magicians get a big play there. They're inside the red zone.
Pretty good job there by Dudenheffer. He got beat over the top, but he was able to run down that guy and prevent the touchdown. And again, it's the bend but don't break thing. Certainly that's a big play for the Mustangs, but you still have an opportunity to hold that shutout near under 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Number 15, Ty Keegan there on the big reception. Stop was made by Dudenheffer.
Really well thrown ball there, too. Delivered on target, on the run. And as you pointed out, good job.
Spureye's going to drop back again and roll out to his right. He's going to look, trying to look in the end zone. And pass is broken up.
That was a little dangerous there. It looked like the defender might run underneath that one and steal that interception.
On the defense for the Mustang. No gain of the play makes it 2nd.
Looks like the D-line's rotating in and out here. Nice play there by Dudenheffer.
Dudenheffer breaks that one up in the end zone. 2nd and 10 from the 16 coming up for the Magicians. Spureye under center. Here comes the motion.
Fake
Gives it to
sweep.
Ferry up the middle. He's going to be stopped for around 2 yards.
So we saw that play quite a bit in the first half, and the Mustangs maybe had a couple of times where they gave yardage up in the middle, but doesn't look like be open anymore.
No, it really doesn't, and you wonder if Minot at some point is going to give it a try and see if you can create something on the edge, but to this point they've been unwilling to do that. So big third down here, 3rd and 8, obviously 4 down territory, down 37 points with just over 5 minutes to go, but I'm sure the Mustang defense would love to pitch another shutout here this year.
Here comes another. Here's Ferry. Oh, it's going to be a handoff to.
Good gain there. It gets him, I think, an opportunity for about a 4th and 1.
On the carry.
Pick up about 7 yards on that one.
Number 23.
They're going to get up to the line quickly.
Talon Junt there on the carry.
Get him to rotate, and they're going to dive this.
Here's another run up the middle. He's not going to get
think
it.
He got that.
If you look at the far official, he did not get it, but it's probably going to require a measurement. the far official was the one that is looking like he had the spot, and I think they are going to say he did not get it.
The Mustangs make another 4th down stand in the red zone. That time it was inside the 10. And the Mustangs keep the Magicians at 0. And I believe it's probably going to stay that way as the Mustangs are going to look to run out the clock here with only 4:49 remaining here in the 4th quarter.
37-0, and
you'll see Caleb Deere.
Caleb Deere's going to come
for this possession here for the Mustangs and give the junior a few reps.
He's a sophomore.
Oh, sophomore. I'm sorry. And this
Caleb
could be the quarterback of the future for the Mustangs. So Coach Newton going to let him see what he can do on this possession.
6'3". He's got the height to look over.
Yeah, you know, and
here's a handoff up the middle.
Jackson, you and I did a JV game where we got to watch Caleb Deere kind of at its finest. He throws a really good ball.
He's a dual threat quarterback as well.
And he really runs well. He doesn't have the size that Workentine does, you know, the thickness and the strength, and that'll come with time. I do know his dad. He's sitting over here doing some stats for us, but he's a big guy too. But Caleb right now has got that lanky run to him, but he's tough to bring down. So he is that dual threat guy. And then on the edge here now that some of these guys that they got coming in, I think they're going to throw in a couple of guys that will be able to run the ball pretty well. And
here's 2nd and 10 from the 7. It's going to be a handoff to the outside. Nice gain there. I believe that's Race Wilson.
No, that one's Aiden Knodel.
Aiden Knodel.
Good run there.
Better wheels than the old man.
Well, that's for sure.
Don't forget, we also got a segment, kind of a remake of 96 Questions that Brian Robinson did on the Vikings. Aiden's going to start a 14-question segment for the Mustangs.
You'll probably see that on social media over the weekend, so I did see the first version of it. It's pretty good stuff. Aiden does double up here. He's playing the game, but he's also part of the Mustang media team.
He also had a fantastic catch at the JV game against Davies a couple weeks ago.
And this is Barika 2.0 with the football here.
Brainham Pinu.
I did talk to his older brother over at NDSU. I said, you been able to watch any of your brother's runs this year? And he said, yeah. And I said, boy, I got to be honest with you, Barika, he looks better than you do. And, you know, he laughed pretty hard. But, you know, Braden does have that same shiftiness. He right now he doesn't have exactly the same weight as Barika did at that point, but he is a beast in the weight room. Yep. He's getting strong fast. It very well may be Barika 2.0.
Well, and I know it was much to Barika's chagrin at his graduation that Braden was already taller than Barika was, so that brotherly competition already showing up a little bit there.
I did ask Barika, you know, how he's liking NDSU. He said football practice is tough, but he's really glad he's at NDSU, and he's really glad he's able to come back and see his family, and especially be able to watch his brother play some football. So nice run there by his brother.
Here's 1st and 20 coming from the 9.
So after the hold, comes back.
Here's the handoff. It's going to be to.
That one does go to Pinu again, but
he's going to be stopped in the backfield.
Snagged in the backfield by number 57 for Minot.
Coming up on 2.5 to go in the game, so Coach Newton, I'm sure, not going to get too crazy with the play calling here and see if they can chip away at this 2nd and 20 and make something 3rd and manageable out of this. If not,
2nd and 20 from the 7 coming up after that 2-yard loss.
You know, another guy that we watch who's in the game right now is Isaac Kanega. We saw him.
He was their workhorse
against. He was their workhorse in the JV game. Boy, he can run hard, too. He's starting to learn to get his shoulders lower and run people over.
2 minutes remaining here.
And that's outside to Knodel again.
Knodel's going to be on the outside. He's going to get a nice gain here up past the 20, up to the 25 for the 1st down.
Oh, I think he's going to be a little bit short of the 1st down, maybe 5 yards, but that was about a 15-yard gain there on that one for Knodel. A couple nice runs there by Knodel on the edge.
It is interesting. They've gotten more. They've had more success on the edge here with the non-starters here so far. 2 very nice runs by Aiden Knodel, picking up some good chunks of yardage, and like we said, another.
That one's going to come back too. They couple nice runs there that they keep throwing laundry on the field there. And fortunate for the Mustangs, when you go half the distance, it's not as big of a hold penalty. Is that how it works?
Yep.
Is that the plus side to the holding penalty in that one?
Second and 25 coming up from the 4. Mustangs trying to get out of.
Another tight flex formation. I'm going to guess this one might come to the edge again. It does.
There's a run to the outside.
Back to Knodel. Doesn't find as much room on the outside this time around.
Knodel on the carry.
It's good. Third and long with 1.5 minutes to go in the game.
Brady Larson. Short gain on the play for the Mustangs.
3rd and 25.
And a long 24.
3rd and 25 from, I believe it's going to be
just outside the 5-yard line.
Outside
here,
the 5.
At minimum, you probably just want to pick up some yardage that
Run
gets
out
you
the
some
clock.
space and
There's a minute left.
Get the heck out of here with a shutout, right?
Another shutout for the Mustangs is almost inevitable now. 37-0. And I believe that margin of victory is going to go up after this one tonight.
On the carry, number 34.
Punt team coming on. Get this one away successfully, and that should wrap the game up.
Less than 40 seconds remaining here. Fans are starting to exit.
You see the rain coming down a little bit harder, and they're ready to get to their cars. Excellent job at the Mustangs tonight, gentlemen, as we see this last play for Minot in the return situation. Overall grade, what do you think?
A+ for sure. 37-0. The Mustangs are going to improve to 6-0 on the season.
And I think probably credit goes to the coaching staff, Coach Newton and his staff, and the kids. As we talked about, you know, everyone knows that game with Centuries looming down the road, but they were very focused, took care of business tonight, controlled the line of scrimmage as they've been able to do every game to this point. So I think, you know, obviously Caden Rohr, don't know the status on that shoulder, but certainly Coach Newton should be pleased with the effort by his team tonight.
Hopefully he's going to be okay.
And overall, I think obviously the Mustangs have to you know, be so pleased with the way the defense is playing right now. Coming into this game against North, it's a game against Century. You have to know that the game is going to be a grinded out kind of situation with Century.
Close. It's not going to be one of these for
sure. I share an office with defensive coordinator Josh Karch. One of the things that he said to me today, he's like, "Oh man, I got to keep watching film. I got to keep watching film." I said, "Bud, I don't know what you're going to be able to do at this point." I said, "You already pitched 2 shutouts. You're probably good." And he goes, "I just can't stop myself." So I know the next 2 weeks he's going to lose some sleep in that situation. But Mustangs able to come away with this one, 37-0. Jackson, final thoughts, buddy.
The Mustangs, they just did a good job on both sides of the ball, as they have all season long. They were running the ball. They had a couple big passing plays. Josh Hendricks was able to get in the end zone 3 times tonight, and the Mustangs will improve to 6-0, while the Magicians will drop to 2-4 on the season.
Tonight we had about 20 seniors of the 22, about 18 seniors starting. As senior night, Coach Wolf, man.
That's what you're hoping for. Good game, solid game all the way around, all phases of the game. A win. Doesn't look like any major injuries coming out of this, so this is a fantastic win for the Mustangs.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for Week 6 of Friday Night Lights. So for Jackson Miller,
Dan Wolf,
Aaron Knodel,
Mustang Media is out.